What's up, Tilray fam? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Also the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors. Today's Friday, December 6th. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing fantastic. In this video, we're going to take a look at Tilray brands. We'll bring up the price chart. I'll go over the price action, what to expect there in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But we could see more trouble ahead. I mentioned that there was a daily bear flag. There's been bear flags on a lot of the US MSOs as well. So even if you're not invested in other companies other than Tilray, which I think you should be, again, not financial advice, but you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say, but being diversified within the MJ sector, having a mix of picks and shovels, retailers, licensed producers, MSOs, probably a good idea. And then also diversifying outside of the MJ industry. And I'm getting a lot of questions and suggestions of making a Tilray video. Why aren't I making any Tilray videos? There's just been no real update in terms of the technicals and also really from a fundamental perspective. But we'll discuss, is there more trouble ahead? So before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. So this news came out. Texas Lieutenant Governor seeks to ban consumable psychoactive component products in the state. So that would imply to HD9, right? We know that Tilray has the Drink Happy Flower drinks, and they're currently shipping to Texas. So the verbiage was kind of like we should ban it. We proposed a ban. It hasn't been official yet, but we'll see what happens with this bill. But overall, there's going to be multiple states. It's not just, Texas. While it's not great news, it may, obviously negatively impact Tilray. We'll see what happens. But overall, I think look at Wanderous from Canopy Growth. I think they're doing it in pretty much all states. So I'm not sure how they're able to get away with it, but they're doing, a similar type of scenario. And then there's other companies like Cureleaf. I think they were shipping to 25 different states with their hemp-derived products. So there's a lot more states that we can expand to. So it's not the end of the world, but definitely not great news if this does come into play. But we have rescheduling imminent. We have safer banking potentially in a lame duck. Time's running out, but we'll see if it happens in a new admin, and then we'll also see what can be done about uplisting and things like that, and then maybe even full blown descheduling, right? Maybe through the States Act and Nancy Mace, or the MORE Act, or the CAOA, which would effectively deschedule it, remove it from the CSA, the Controlled Substances Act. And if that gets removed from the CSA, then we could see it descheduled, and then it'd be up to individual states. But ultimately, at the federal level in the U.S., it would no longer be illegal. So I think there's a very high probability of that playing out into 2025. And again, I've been saying for a while now that my number one crypto holding is worth more than my entire MJ portfolio dollar-wise. And there's a reason for that, right? We've been in a 4-year, almost 5-year bull market on crypto, big tech, AI, while MJ has really been in a 4-year bear market, and we're dropping to all-time lows, 52-week lows. So there's a reason why I'm not allocating a majority of my capital into a sector that has been downtrending for 4 years, right? But the good news is, I'm not just saying I told you so or anything like that. I'm not that type of person. What I'm saying is, this is a good sign, because I'm just being upfront and real with everybody that over the next few months we could see crypto enter its final blow off top alt season mania phase. And then I think MJ will benefit from an alt season as well, because we should see small cap stock season. We'll see, market breadth and risk on. It's already starting to hit, and the S&P 500 at all-time highs. I think MJ would benefit from that type of, kind of market environment, especially if we see small cap stocks really start to ramp up into the end of the year and into 2025, as we see a rotational play happen out of big tech, right? So that's a good sign for MJ over the next few months. And we do have earnings coming up as well. It's looking like potentially the second week of January. So we'll want to see official confirmation from Tilray. But as I mentioned in a previous video, it is a daily bear flag. So if you go from the swing high to swing low and then move it out to your 0.32 fib, it gives you your measured move here. So it's saying we could see a move down to around $1.14 on log scale. And we're dropping to a lower low here today. So we're getting very close to that target. We could still see another, call it 9.5 to 10% of downside to reach that daily bear flag target. I think it will be a buying opportunity. I'm also getting a lot of questions. Is Tilray going to reverse split? can't say for certain, right? Nothing is for certain in the financial markets. The only guarantee is there's no guarantees. So the fact that, we still have tax loss selling as well into the end of the year, right? The fact that we're going to see harvesting for losses, it could mean more trouble. But the good news is for Canadians, if you're like me, you've been waiting for a TFSA contribution room to add more beaten down MJ. And the good news is as of January 1st, 2025, we'll have an additional $7,000 worth of contribution that we can put into our TFSA of our own money. And then that grows tax free. And I think, leading into the new year, we should start to see MJ bottom out. And when big tech, crypto, AI tops out sometime, second or third month of 2025, sometime in March, April, I think, then we'll start to see MJ rebound. If we see a really big pullback in the S&P 500 in a very short period of time, in a day or a couple of days, obviously MJ is going to be impacted by those headwinds, but I think it will recover quickly and harder than most, and it will go on to become one of the best performing sectors over the coming years. And I think psychedelics, biotech, it's all related. So I think that will be the play over the coming, call it 2 years. So like I said, there's a lot of bear flags out there. MSOX, again, if you're only invested in Tilray, it does pay to look at other names in the space as well, especially like an ETF in the US, just to get an overall sentiment and gauge of what the rest of the sector is doing. And MSOX and MSOS are dropping to daily lower lows today, and we had a daily bear flag as well, targeting about 1040. So the good news is we're getting close to that target. That's about 5% away. Again, Tilray about 7-8% away. So it's looking, like we could see a little bit more downside, one more leg down, and then we should start to recover, I think, as we approach a small cap stock season. Also on the weekly time frame, we are starting to curl here on the stochastic. We could see a bull cross of that. MACD is still a ways away before we see a bull cross, but overall over the next few weeks and a couple of months, it's looking like we could see some major momentum shifting with regards to those indicators. Also, the 50 and the 100 weekly could cross bullish over the next couple of months as well. Something similar happened on high tide. We had a 50 and a 100 weekly moving average bull cross, and price is now above the 200 weekly. And now it's looking to do its first ever 250 weekly moving average bull cross. So again, the more names that do that, the better. And if Tilray were to get back above around its 200 weekly, that'll bring us up just under $6 US. If we take a look at the daily time frame, it's a while away before we see a golden cross, but again, it could be a couple of months, few weeks, several weeks, couple of months before we see a golden cross. So things are shaping up. They're starting to turn the page, but it's looking like we could see a little bit more weakness, leg down, especially with tax loss, harvesting, etc. So we'll see what happens, but no one has a crystal ball. And I think, overall, will it do a reverse split? I don't think so. It's possible. I don't think it'd be the end of the world, even if it did. I don't think it would, though. I don't think the company would have any issue, getting back above $1. They'd have 180 days, right, to regain compliance. They could even get another 180-day extension. I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I mean, there is a lot of shares, so you never know. It's possible. I just don't think that's the most likely scenario, but you can't rule it out. Like I said, there's no guarantees in the financial world. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. I know it's been rough and it's tough, watching, other sectors, big tech, crypto, AI, hitting new all-time highs, SPY, and we're just not seeing any relief in MJ. I did post a video on High Tide and Organogram. Organogram acquired Motif, and then High Tide's been an absolute beast. It's in a daily, weekly, and monthly uptrend with a daily bull flag on deck. So it's not a bad sign for the sector that we're starting to see some names, gain some serious momentum and uptrends on all of the longer term timeframes. We just need to see that across the rest of the sector. The more names that confirm daily, weekly, monthly uptrends, the better, and the more probabilities of names that haven't done so will do so. So going in it there, again, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. If you need a vent, by all means, but hope you have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend ahead. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll catch you in the next one.